What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of 100 Yards Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your host and producer, Logan Landers, and joining me here today to talk about the Denver Broncos going on to take on the New York Jets in some NFL Week 4 action is my guy from the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network, Jay McLuffin. Jay, how you doing, my friend? And what do you like about this ball game? 1-2 in Denver and 2-1 with Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets.
Yeah, absolutely, Logan. I'm doing well, man. It's a nice sunny day out here, no rain. I know you guys are getting clobbered.
We're getting hit. We're getting hit.
I wish you could send some of the God-free love down this direction so I'd have to use my sprinkler system, but it is what it is. Sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for, I guess, you know?
No doubt. What you like about these games, man? What you like about these two teams?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's another noon game, right? It's another noon game on CBS. You got a Broncos at 1-2 versus the Jets 2-1. It's going to be interesting. The Broncos don't typically have a lot of offense right now with Bo Nix still kind of figuring things out, but their defense has been playing incredible. If you look at last week, we'll look at the Broncos first. They went up against the Bucks, and as you know, the Bucks previously, even before that, coming into that game, were just playing well. Baker was doing great things. They went into Detroit, did great things. He comes into the Broncos, comes into Denver, plays the Broncos, and they get beat 26-7, I believe it was. Knicks gave them 25 of 36 attempts completed at 216 yards, and he rushed for 28 for 136 yards and 2 touchdowns. You look at Mayfield, and Mayfield, God, boy, that man was on his back. It was almost reminiscent of what Caleb Williams went through. He got 25 of 33 attempts completed for 163 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. But he was on his back 7 times. It's hard to win a game when you're on your back 7 times. So that O-line really tells to me that they need to step up. Or maybe they just got lucky the first 2. I'm not sure. Hopefully tonight Sunday against the Jets, that would be more proof of what they really are, especially against Aaron Rodgers and company. But yeah, Mayfield also rushed 16, or they rushed 16 for 91 yards as a team. So 16 for a total of 91 yards. So that's basically a little over 200 yards total offense for the team. That's not going to get it done. And the Broncos walked away with that win at 26-7. Then when you go and you look at the Jets, they played a soft Patriots team and crushed them 24-3 and brought the Patriots back down to reality for who they really are. Brissett, he only completed 12 of 18, but only for 98 yards, but he was on his back 5 times. So that tells me that the Jets defense really did their job. They rushed a total of 15 for 78 yards total, no touchdowns. So that really explains why they only had 1 field goal in the game. When you look at Rodgers did what Rodgers did, 27 of 35, 281 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The team ran for a total of 133 yards on 33 attempts and a touchdown. So they did what they wanted to do against the Patriots. When you look at the team leaders right now for the Broncos, you got Nix, who has totaled up 71 out of 113 completions for 600 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's ran 18 times, or he's the leading running back, believe it or not. Almost sounds like a reminiscent of Josh Allen right now. At 18 for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then you got Reynolds, their wide receiver, who's got 11 catches at 174. So seems to be a whole lot of Bo Nix, a little bit of Reynolds thrown in there, and they've done well right now. I mean, they're all 1-2, but clearly they did well against the Bucks, which really was playing quite well. And then you look at Rodgers on the flip side of it, who did 58 of 86 at 624 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 pick. That's incredible. And then you got Hall at 46 at 170, 2 touchdowns at the run game. And then you got Wilson at 15 at 115, a touch. So if you're looking at the leaderboards, clearly, the Jets have had the better leaders right now than what the Broncos have, and understandably so, because they got a rookie quarterback, and he's doing all that he can to do what he can for this team. Unfortunately, he's got 4 interceptions as a quarterback and no touchdowns. So I'm still waiting to see when Bo Nix will get that first touchdown. When you look at the last 3 games of the Broncos, it was Tampa, Pittsburgh, and Seattle. And they took 2 losses to Pitt and Seattle. They got the win against Tampa. and they gave up 46 points in total. But the Broncos defense, now it's not really not bad. When you think about it, Logan, they played a soft Seattle, got beat. Played a medium team in Pittsburgh, got beat. But both games were close. Both games were decided by one score. Then they come into Tampa and they destroy them 26-7. And that's a much tougher team than all the other two meetings before that. That tells me this team is slowly getting better as the season progresses, which is perfect timing as you're getting ready to go play these Jets. You look at the Jets, they've had a tough schedule as well. They got blown out by San Francisco to start the season at 32-19. Then they played a soft Tennessee team, but only got them by a score at 24-17. And then they took on a weak team in New England and took them down 24-3. They gave up 39 points in total. But again, their competition outside of San Francisco has been much less than I think what the Broncos have faced. So if you look at the over and unders, you got the Broncos that are over at 38.5, and then you got the Jets that are minus 7.5. I'm going to go with the Jets here. Not that I think, and I do think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a really close game because, again, the Broncos have gotten better every time they suited up the ball. And I think that Tampa Bay game really puts it into perspective. And so with that being said, I think Salah is going to get the win over Sean Payton. And I think it's going to be a close game again. But I do think it's going to be, I'm going to say 21-13. 21-13, I'm giving it to the Jets.
Yeah, when I look at these two teams, I'll start off with New York. Aaron Rodgers has looked like he has in many years past, Jay. He's off to a great start. A lot of people were wondering how he would look after that injury that he suffered early last year, but he has looked great. 5 touchdowns on the year, only 1 pick. Thrown for 67% of his passes on 600-plus yards. So he is looking great, which is what this team was expecting. For the running game, Breece Hall has looked great. 170 yards on the ground, over 46 carries, 3.7 yards, and also got into the end zone twice. And Braylon Allen as a solid backup so far. He's closing in on 100 yards throughout a couple of games. So nice attack there with Allen and with Hall. On the receiving end, Aaron Rodgers is doing what Aaron Rodgers does, Jay, and he distributes his love. He distributes his wealth. He's got 4 receivers with over 100 yards on the season already. That's Tyler Conklin, your tight end. That's Breece Hall, your running back. That's Alan Lazard, an old vet. And, of course, that's your stud out there, and Garrett Wilson leading the way, 26 grabs for 150 yards. So you don't know where the ball's going. You can't really double-team someone because Aaron is such a crafty veteran and such a great quarterback and obviously a future Hall of Famer. He can just give it to whoever. It doesn't matter who you cover, who you double. He'll find somebody, and they will be open. So they've looked good. On the defensive side of the ball, you've got Quincy Williams leading your way in terms of total tackles with 24. And then when you look at some of your big guys up front, obviously, Will McDonald has looked like an absolute monster, Jay. 5 sacks already. That is someone you don't want to mess with, the former first-rounder out of Iowa State. He's looked great so far this year. Michael Clemens and Solomon Thomas also pulling some heavy weight as well. Secondary hasn't had a whole lot, Jay. Only 1 pick on the year. Got to get those guys more involved, like Brandon Eccles and Michael Carter II, so on and so forth. But they're off to a 2-1 start. Second place currently in the AFC East. Like you said, when you look at who they've played so far, they had the loss to San Francisco week 1, but then they beat up on Tennessee and New England. So they have been looking better and better. Beside San Francisco, which, look, that's the team who made the Super Bowl last year. That's supposed to be a really good team. But they were supposed to beat Tennessee. You're supposed to beat New England. That's what they did, and that's why they are in the position they're at and looking strong coming into this week 4 matchup. Turning the page over to Denver. Bo Nix, he's still waiting, right? We're still waiting in the wings, waiting to see how he is going to do through his first full season. Couple games in, some ups, some downs, right? Not been tremendous, not lighting the world on fire, but also isn't taking his teams out of games 100%, I would say. He's got 600 yards passing, which is commendable, right? 200 yards a game. Like you said, he's still waiting for that first touchdown, and he has thrown 4 picks this year. He's also been sacked 4 times. And he's also, Jay, they gotta figure out something with the running game. my God, they got to figure out something with the running game. Look, it's not too much of a surprise now for your quarterback to lead the team in rushing, see Lamar Jackson, but there's really no one else behind him helping out. Tyler Beatty he's only got 86 yards through 10 carries in 2 games. Javonte Williams, 52 yards on 24 rushes. They average 4.2 yards per rush, but most of that is Nix, who has 5.9, and that's just scrambling, Jay. That's just him running for a first down because they don't have a spy or anything on him. So you got to get the running game figured out, whether it's going to be Beatty, whether it's going to be Williams, or it's going to be someone else on that team. I don't know, but they've got to figure that out if they want to start building some more momentum. They do average, Jay. They do average a little bit under 100 yards a game, so it's a team effort as opposed to just really one person for Denver. On the defense, or to be on the receiving core, Josh Reynolds, who is, like you said, their top guy, he was limited, Jay, in practice as of Wednesday due to his Achilles. Unsure if he's going to play. There's not been an official word out as of yet. God, you'd hope so, though, because he's your top receiver, 174 grams on 11 catches this year. So you like getting him the ball. Courtland Sutton, he's put in some good work as well, 132 yards on 12 catches. But other than that, those are the only 2 guys with over 100-plus yards on the year. Everyone else is yet to crack that plateau. And now the defense, Jay. You said the defense is tremendous. It's a really solid, strong unit. I agree. However, and a comma, as you like to say, that was then and this is now. And I say that because they have been bit by the injury bug, Jay. Alex Singleton, their star linebacker who's leading the team in tackles with 31, he is on the injured reserve. He will miss some time with a knee injury. So that is going to hurt this team, not just for this week, but moving forward with the season as well. Like I said, he's on the IR. So we'll see when and if he does come back this season. But like I say, you're losing a guy who's got you a pick. He's got you 17 solo tackles. Leading the team, he's got you 31 total tackles. So you're missing a monster out there to help your team out. You've still got some good players. Don't get me wrong. You got guys like Riley Moss and guys like Zach Allen, Patrick Surtain. But that's going to hurt missing him. Jonathan Cooper helped leading your team in terms of sacks. He's got 3 on the year. All in all, Jay, they've got 11 sacks. You mentioned they were putting Baker on his back like it was no tomorrow. So they do have some solid players. And then in terms of their secondary, I mean, Jay, they're looking great. 6 picks as a team. They have 6 different guys who have one. So if Denver wants to win this game, Jay, they're going to have to step up in the loss of Alex Singleton for a while. You're going to have to get your offense going somehow. And you're going to have to really come to playing against Aaron Rodgers and this top-tier team in New York, who is, like I said, I know they're not in first place right now, but it's built like a team that is going to compete this year. It's going to cause some teams some fits. I think it's a team who's going to beat the teams they should, and they'll be competitive, if not win against the teams that are a little bit higher up right now. But for me, I got to go, Jay, with the New York Jets winning this one. I think they're just a better team at this moment. And like I said, this is a big test for Bo Nix. You're going up against one of the best quarterbacks you're going to ever face in the league. So it's going to be a tough task. But I think I'll go overall final score in this one. I'll have the New York Jets putting up 24 points, and I'll go with the Denver Broncos getting 14 for this matchup on Sunday. But want to hear from you, though, our fans. Who's going to win this matchup? Will it be Denver? Will it be New York? Who's going to come away with this win in Week 4? Want to hear it on Facebook and YouTube. As always, Jay, appreciate you, my friend, coming on the show, talking about this game preview. I've been your host and producer, Logan Landers. Guys, until next time, enjoy your weekends, and we'll talk to you again on another